Going from Dyinglight 1 to Dyinglight 2, there's a lot of new systems and changes that Techland has implemented into the sequel, as you'd expect with any newer game, right? And one of these newer systems that they introduced is the new immunity system, which not only has an impact on the gameplay, but it fits lore-wise. In the story of Dyinglight 2, everyone in the city of Illidoor, including the protagonist Aiden Caldwell, is infected, and with how the virus has evolved from the original game to the sequel, there's no longer antizin or any type of suppressant to keep the virus at bay. Rather, since everyone is now infected, in order to keep the infection stable in someone's bloodstream, they have to have some type of UV light source or receive direct sunlight, so that way they don't entirely turn into one of the infected. What this means is, when you play at night, you can only venture out into the darkness for so long until you're forced to huff some magical mushrooms, pop a UV lamp, or return to some type of safe zone to reset your immunity level. And with that basic lore in mind, one of the bigger intriguing questions that many people have been asking is what happens when your immunity level hits 0? Do you immediately die? Do you get a unique animation? Do you watch Aiden turn into an infected? What happens? Well, the short version is you die. You get an animation where Aiden seizes up, he suffers a seizure, and then he blacks out. Anyone can pretty much guess what happens next, at least in terms of how the virus works. From there, he would become a viral, roam the rooftops at night, and then during the day, if he's smart enough, he would make it into a dark zone where eventually, if he stays there long enough, he'll evolve into a volatile. However, we don't see any of that. Instead, we just get a black screen, you respawn, and that's it. You lose your nighttime bonus, but I believe everything you gather during the night is all kept. Honestly, not as punitive as they could have made it, but I'm not complaining. Now, that is the end. However, I think the journey of reaching this point is quite interesting, especially if you're playing with an immersive HUD. You know, you don't have that timer in the middle of the screen to basically tell you when you're about to turn. Instead, along the way, there's audio cues. It starts off with your biomarker beeping, quickly followed by Aiden coughing. And then about a minute later, well, give or take, it really depends on your immunity level and how much you upgraded either your health or your stamina. That's really going to affect when you start hearing these cues. But it starts off with the biomarker beeping, followed by Aiden immediately coughing after that. Then next cue, the biomarker beeps again. And then in the final stages where you hit that critical immunity, the music really starts to build up. You know, you get these little effects on the edges of your screen. You'll hear the infection start to progress just based off of the noises Aiden is making. And I actually just noticed this. When you first enter that critical immunity stage, the biomarker beeps and you hear a more pronounced cough from Aiden. But if you're making a jump or doing anything that basically makes Aiden grunt, you won't hear him cough. So that's kind of something you got to keep in mind. So as you noticed in the second clip, he was about to start coughing, and then I did a far jump, so it transitioned from a cough to the grunt, so I didn't get it. Also, both of these gameplays are captured on PlayStation 5, they're both mine. The reason why the second one is much more vibrant is because I activated HDR, so that's kind of the difference there if you're curious as to why it looks like that. There's no color correcting on my end, this is the difference with HDR on and off. Now when your immunity finally hits 0, you don't instantly die. Rather, the infection now starts to eat at your health. So you have your entire health bar, or whatever's remaining of it, to get to a safe zone, pop a UV lamp, or huff a mushroom. Because it doesn't matter if your infection or your immunity is completely gone, as long as you get one of those things, you don't have to run all the way back to a safe zone. You could just use it right then and there. Balance yourself out, hunt around for some more rooftop groves, and gather more shrooms from them. But that's the audio cues. I'm gonna leave the video running so that way you can see the whole duration of what happens when you're in that critical stage, so you can really hear the music and how well the soundtrack and sound design is in this game overall. All around, Techland did a phenomenal job. I'm gonna let the video go. My name is Cynic. Thank you all so much for watching. Special shout out to my patrons who have helped make this possible: Grim Reaper, Carl Bird, and DJ Steph. But until next time, I'll see y'all in the next video.